Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney. Last time we met Inspector Grigson, and today we'll meet our client. Let's go. 19th of February. Local prison, cell 9. So these are British prison cells.
Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon.
Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls.
Oh, don't, Mr. Naruto. You're making it seem worse.
Apparently our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark in the back there I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. There's a candle right there. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat, as yet with no name? Calling me by my number? It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer.
Oh, Mr. Naruto, what do you think is going on here?
I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Oh, was it? Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet, I'll give him a non-English accent. Hmm? Excuse me. Shh, quiet. What's he doing? Hmm? They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening even now.
I can sense it.
Right, so could I ask you who exactly...
There you are, you've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it, you're a ghost.
A ghost?
I mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you Japanese by any chance?
Oh. This is
beyond my wildest dreams.
Forgive that outburst before. I'm sorry. Oh, it's fine. We're just a little surprised, that's all.
Imagine it!
It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown. Here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of compatriot's voice here, in this damp, dark hellhole, was a most
monumentally moving moment.
Who could have guessed this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? Ah, what compassion my fellow countrymen show. To the step to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student.
Noble, nurturing, never failing nipple.
A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here.
I wonder, would you be so kind to tell us what happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example?
Yes, I can, I will.
Shan, stay sullen and silent. I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy.
Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruto.
And I am Naruto-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikatoba.
I am a visiting student sent here by our government.
Notoriously named Natsume! Sosuke Natsume.
I don't know how to voice this, JoJo posing guy. I'll present him my armband. Yes, yes, the symbol of one of our great empires, first-rate lawyers. Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. You'll defend me. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't why I was showing it to you. Huh? Then why else would you be showing me that? Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. Cool. We have a person. 33, student. Sosuke. Natsume-san? What an unusual name. Call me Sosuke, please. I'm a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias?
That's right, Naruto-san. No, don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
And haiku? That really reminds me of home.
Did I hear you say that you're a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go study English. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this. It's beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it, no?
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on whitewash.
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh yes, so I'm often told. And often likes to be told, it seems. Oh my god, I don't know how to voice him. The accusation against you.
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Sosuke-san?
I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder!
Murder?
Oh no. It's alright, that woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife! Right before my eyes! Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it,
Do you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London, and it's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. So Sosuke-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker?
It's vital to find out more about the case.
It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my cursed lodgings. Sure, the bookshop was an accursed too. As I was walking along the cursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went over to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of the stone at my feet.
Oh, terrible.
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as
fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings.
That's not good. They'll say it, I will shame all I know. To run away like that.
Tell me, Sasuke-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous.
You think I know any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that? I'm different, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people.
I see. Young woman, Ananta Sasuke-san. And at the time it happened. Who else did you see nearby? Did anyone pass you? Credibly. Apart from myself and that woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great.
So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. Creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
What conundrum? What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum?
Well, if what Saseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did. But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit.
Ah! You! What did you just say?
Nothing, I didn't say anything. Oops, perhaps I thought that a little loudly.
Actually, that's not what was troubling me. Oh, what I was thinking was, how did Saseki-san actually come to be arrested?
Sorry?
He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place?
Oh yes, she's right.
It was him.
The cursed great detective.
He led the police to me.
Of all the bad luck. A cursed great detective. Could it be? I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live, and his self-proclaimed greatness.
Brash, big-headed, busybody, be gone. May you be cursed until the end of your days, Airlock Sholmes.
I knew it.
Mr. Sholmes?
I'll give him like a lighter Steiner voice. Airlock Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure. It was
the morning after the nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police, put the weapon down!" Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon. Disgusting, dietary, discrimination devils.
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That
Sherlock Sholmes.
It's actually just Sherlock Sholmes. He's English.
I've since found out he's a famous name in detection here in London. Yes, the great detective is really well known. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts apparently. He thinks I'm a knife-wielding madman. Me, this weak, stupid kitten of a man.
I wonder what great deduction process led him to this conclusion this time.
You mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in. Of course you were. That's only natural. I was terrified and trembling. and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible English. Fiendish, foreign, flim-flammery.
Well, we are in England. Can't really blame them for questioning you in English.
Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes I do, and I'm fine. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising.
I'm fine. He's not fine now.
Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Oh, you could just call me Naruto, and when we're speaking English, a simple mister's more than enough.
Oh yes, alright, yes, they've really got me. This country's poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You could tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you?
Well,
Why? Why is it hard to say yes to me?
well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour.
A student.
I've defended a case in the Old Bailey, only one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means.
Oh, Naruto-san. Why are you being so philosophical right now?
I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm sort of a locum lawyer, I suppose.
But that armband! That's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire.
It's a keepsake from a man who should have been here. He was my best friend.
A keepsake? Oh, no. I know exactly what they're saying about me. Oh, what do you mean? The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me. Goodness, why? Why do you say that? For the same reason as you noted before. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool, and I know it looks like it must be the culprit.
Must be very hard for you, Soseki-san.
And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I've heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said. And of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say that man doesn't understand half what's being said anyway.
That's awful.
They're wrong! I studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through.
Soseki-san, it's just that... Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can, for the time being.
What do you mean? We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. We can find some clues. It will give us a much better chance, I'm sure. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here, all alone, waiting for you, locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. We should be going now, Naruto-san. We have a case to prepare for.
Oh man, 2 new voices and I had no idea how to voice them. I had an easier time figuring out everyone else in that last job. 19th of February, Briar Road. What kind of tire is that? So this is where it happened, Briar Road.
Ah, look, Mr. Naruto. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know.
But Mr. Naruto, to see one with my own eyes. You're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but I never even dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet.
What? The helmet?
Hee hee, of course. I have to try one on one day.
Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Gregson.
Oh, this song. This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
You've been to the Olin cells then. What do you make of the criminal?
He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. Doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. And the verdict's a foregone conclusion. The cold air of rejection.
Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air.
That makes it worse somehow. Alright. Now I gotta remember how he sounds while I look at everything.
Oh, a British bicycle, look! Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore.
Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling.
Seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change the women's dress to allow them to ride as well.
The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that.
Goodness, do you dislike bicycles?
No, not at all. I mean, it's not like I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off the firm ground seems reckless. You ever tried walking on stilts and falling into a river? I know you'd agree with me.
Well, we'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting story.
Well, the time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here.
We must find some cheap lodging ourselves as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right. Cheap, but with ideally reasonably level floors. Is it a bush? Oh, look at the windows in the building over there.
Are you sure they're windows?
Yes, but they're filled with bricks.
You're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment.
There's smoke coming out of the chimneys, though.
Oh dear, everything feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place.
Yeah, why do they have bricks on the windows? I never actually looked that up. The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy.
Well, it is known as Foggy London Town.
You can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though.
Aha! Yes, that must be the Crystal Tower, being built at the great exhibition that's about to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition.
It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? Can't even begin to imagine it. It's just a road. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks.
It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow.
I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. Seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead.
Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruto, and dressed all in black. I worry the coachman might not see you and you'd be flattened by horses.
Well, thank you for the rather small concern. I haven't seen a ladder yet. Or a step ladder.
Hee hee, what a delightful snowman.
I didn't realize the Englishmen had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepier though.
Oh, it has a scarf, look.
You'd need one if you're out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one.
I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. We certainly can't afford a scarf.
Surely this snowman here wouldn't miss his.
But the person who made the snowman certainly would.
Yes, I know. You're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow.
Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to the crime scenes and cart away criminals.
You're very well informed, aren't you?
It's long been a dream of mine to ride on one of those through the streets of London.
Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then.
But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. No, I wasn't serious.
I'm a lawyer with a 100% win rate. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred.
Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it?
That's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker would have been hiding. Boy, what are you foreigners doing here?
Ah!
Oh, we're just investigating the scene, officer. Conspiring with that mustached fellow from Japan, are you?
Conspiring?
Come here to destroy the evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you an hiding. Go on.
He shoot us away like rats.
Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think.
What a disappointing experience.
Grab his hat and run away. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons.
I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. You've done nothing wrong, so we have no cause for concern.
Oh, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I've found myself in the handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on.
Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all.
Ugh. Now let's actually talk to him. Scotland Yard.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated police and organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know, I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I tell you.
Oh really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes people up?
Yup, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit.
I had no idea.
The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. He has to cover the 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. Can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far.
And when it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
Oh my.
And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle the jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit.
I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruto.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago, just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. Never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we wouldn't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Here's the map of the local area I happen to have on me. You could take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers, defendants, and suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
The local map. Anyway, as far as we know, there's no one else in the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, you think? Not much of a head-scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but...
But just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can't be sure nobody else was present.
It was the snowman. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. It...
What?
We have 2 very reliable witnesses, no less.
Ah!
It was a typical foggy London day. Your client obviously didn't see him. There were witnesses now? Oh, jeez. Let's take a look. Briar Road, Calabash Road, Meerschaum Street. Then I guess this doesn't matter. Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife. The man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
Ah!
A policeman? That might change things.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment that the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Catching them banging the act and all that. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Be my guest. You can ask him all you like in court tomorrow. Oh. I have no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to. That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident? As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspect. I hear it was Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Is it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks. Let's just do that. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes's inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle.
Ah!
That man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh, I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, is he?
Gibble gabble. Ever seen this before? Oh, yes, that's Rand's magazine.
A wonderful publication in which the adventures of Herlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone in the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Herlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. That man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not? Well, makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch the case with a bodge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Sorry? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones. Master criminals?
The violent ones.
That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go into the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely? That's just my point, Sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I would be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's gotta be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I could tell? You think I can tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective.
Mr. Naruto, can I make a suggestion?
Oh yes, what is it?
Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
By him do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, exactly.
Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet Mr. Sholmes again.
The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address even, so how?
It's Baker Street!
How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
So, we're to have a reunion already with the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. At least I know how to voice him, I think.
Oh, cutscene.
The animation. Oh god.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Thanks again. This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Alright guys, I think I'll end it here. Not sure why I found that so funny, but I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.